All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session. So, with regard to business schools, we have quite a bit of awareness about almost all the premier business schools, but there are a couple of business schools regarding which we believe that more awareness needs to be there. So, today we are going to talk about one such business school. I'm talking about Tata Institute of Social Sciences, which is situated in India's financial capital, Mumbai. Now, as far as this particular business school is concerned, it's one of the oldest places in India when it comes to courses pertaining to social sciences. But they also offer an excellent program for HR aspirants called MA in HRM and LR. So we wanted to conduct a session wherein the audience, the MBA aspirant, should get insight into this extraordinary business school. Now, to help us convey the message, to help us create awareness, we have with us Mr. Nikunj Chandra, who is the first year student of MA in HRM and LR. And Nikunj has graciously agreed to provide us with that kind of insight. Nikunj has done his commerce graduation from Delhi University, and then he wrote CAT exam and did a good job in CAT, and that's how he secured admission into Tata Institute of Social Sciences. And he is currently in first year of MA in HRM and LR. And one good thing about TISS is they have a lot of clubs, and Nikunj is also a part of quite a few clubs. He is also part of Aspirants and Branding Relations Club of TISS. And today, Nikunj will give you a short presentation and give you an idea about this business school. Now, during the presentation, you may have some queries, you may want some more information. So you're free to send your questions to us. We are going to take up your questions at the end of the presentation. All right, so do stay with us during the entire session so that you also get an opportunity to get first-hand information from Nikunj. All right, so with this, I'll hand over the proceedings to Nikunj. Nikunj, if you can share the PPT and start your presentation.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for such a warm introduction. And firstly, I would like to thank Time for giving us their platform to reach out to more wider range of aspirants. So to kick off things, I'll just start with the presentation, which will provide all the aspirants an overview of TISS, MA in HRM and LR. Sure. So firstly, I'll talk about a bit about the history of TISS itself. It was established as the Sir Dorabji Tata Graduate School of Social Work in 1936, even before independence in Mumbai itself. And the TISS Mumbai campus being established in 1954. After that, three more
Well,
campuses.
Nikunj, your video has got switched off. In case you can switch it on.
Sure. So I'll just take a look. So is it on now?
Yes, Nikunj, it's on.
So now TISS has spread across four cities, four campuses, and is offering 69 programs all over the country where aspirants join, fulfill their dreams, and
Again, the video is off, but see if you can sort it out. Ours, no problem. We'll do without video as such. You can try once again. If it doesn't work, we'll stick with the audio alone.
also. So now switching to the course which I represent, HRM and LR, Human Resources Management and Labor Relations. So this particular course was established in 1967 and now upholds a legacy of over 6 decades and is one of the most premier HR courses that is being offered in our country and not in the country in the Asia Pacific region, I would say. Firstly, it had originated as PMIR, Personal Management and Industrial Relations, and with the evolving world, in 2006 it became to HRM and LR, which is Human Resources Management and Labor Relations. So if I talk about a bit about the unmatched pedagogy of the course, firstly I will talk about the main USP of the course, which I believe is fieldwork. At the end of each semester, each and every student gets into step into an internship for maybe a month or more, where they step into organizations, work upon projects, and the classroom learning that we go and gain every day, we are able to apply that to the practical world in the projects. Like we get to work in the top organizations and everything. Like And the great part is that we get to do it at the end of each semester. So if you are coming to TISS, MA and HRM and LR, you're not a fresher anymore. You'll graduate with at least 6 to 7 months of work experience. And talking about the next aspect, which is the dissertation. At the start of the second semester and during it, the dissertation aspects come into place where you have to first select your research topic, and also a faculty member will be there to support you throughout your research, and the research will go through the second, third, and the fourth semester. So the course is also research oriented and emphasizing on that part also. And if I talk about the NGO stint, at the end of 2 years, after your fourth fieldwork, you'll get to step into an NGO, which is a necessary aspect of the course. You have to do an NGO stint, which also keeps us connected with the social aspect and the social sensitivity part of the society. And continuing upon the courses, like the main focus of the course is of course upon HR and its all its functions, gaining expertise in that. But also we are also focusing upon the wider aspect like studying marketing, finance, operations, and each and every semester such elective courses emerge where students can also develop knowledge in wider areas of management too. And if I talk about the rural immersion, which at the end of first semester, which our batch went to, and also previous batches have went into, like we went to an NGO where we spent approximately 3 days, where we were able to see all the projects they were working upon, and also gain understanding of the on ground reality, what's going on in the social part. So that's why we mention we say that we are not a B school, we are a social sciences school. So all these things keep us connected to the social sciences aspect as well. So you can take a look. These are some of our fieldwork recruiters where students go into after the end of each semester. These are some of the top organizations in a country where we get to learn and develop our skills and the classroom learning as well. So now talking about the opportunities at TISS, like you can see a large number of case forms being mentioned on these slide. Like there's a kind of a taboo where we are seen as an MA course, and so I would like to break that and say that we get equitable number of opportunities as an MBA in the case competitions. Like some of them are exclusive for specific campuses only, and we are really proud to be a part of them. And every year, national winners emerge from both the batches, from the first year and the second year, and they gain PPIs, PPUs from these competitions. Now, talking about the industry exposure that we get from the course, you can see these all photographs are from my own batch only. The first one being a factory visit that we got to go to a 1 day visit where we were able to see the operations of the plant and all the other how the HR was working over there, and also mainly interact with all the personnel over there. In the second photograph, you can see top leadership position people coming. Mostly there are alums working at the top CHRO level, CXO level, our top organizations in a country. They come to interact with us, share their experiences, and also talk to us, take our doubts, and also clarify that. Also, leadership talks are held very frequently where trendy topics that are in the industry, if I would like to say, the role of Gen Z in it, the evolving role of Gen Z, and how the early mistakes that HR are making in the career. On these topics, discussions are held very frequently, and these are maybe mainly 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minute session where top leaders come and interact with us and they take our doubts again. Yeah. So on your screen now, I would say they are the summer placement figures for our batch, the batch of 2027. So the number of students participating was 66, and the highest stipend went for up to 5 lakh rupees for a span of 2 months. The average stipend went to 3.47 lakhs for 2 months. The median was 3.5 lakhs. The We completed 100% placements this year at a very fast pace. And you can take a good look at this at the screen right now. These are some of the dream organizations that we got to step into. Like we will be going for summer internships. We fulfill our dreams, and we hope that the upcoming batches that will continue this legacy. And these are the final placement figures for the batch of 2025. where you can see the number of PPO offers, which stand for the pre-placement offers, which stood at 43%. So even before the final placements began, 43% of the batch had gained PPOs from top organizations. And the highest annual CTC offered was 36.25 lakhs. The median annual CTC went to 28 lakhs per annum, and the average annual CTC was 28.2 lakhs. And these are some of the final recruiters that keep returning to the campus to take the future CHROs. I would say that all the top leadership positions people. So now switching a bit from placements to the life at TISS, because I believe it is a major part, it is a major aspect of your college life, the campus. So as we are not the only course on campus, there are several other courses with 40 plus courses that are on the TISS Mumbai campus. So it's a lively campus. You'll always see some kind of events happening, and mostly all courses have their own student run committees where events are held at a very frequent pace. Like our own course has a flagship event by the name of Manthan, which is held in February each and every year. Apart from that, there are sports facilities, and festivals are celebrated at a very lively. And all these things make the campus life very happening for the students, and also maintain the work life balance that one wants in the campus life. So these are some of the pictures, as I mentioned in one of the slides before, of the rural immersion that we went this November to an NGO named Snehalia, where we were able to connect with the on-ground reality on how they were working on different projects, like from the younger generation to the old age people, helping them out at each and every stage. At the screen right now, you can see few of our alums that are working at the top leadership positions in some of the top organizations all across the country and the world. They are basically CHROs, CXOs, founders, director HRs, and mainly and most of them. And the great part is that we get to meet them at a very frequent time frame, because they keep coming for sessions and everything. And if we go to a field works or maybe summer internships, they talk to us personally and also help us out in all the ways. So I believe TISS has built a very great alumni network over the past 6 decades, and the legacy keeps on continuing each and every year. So now talking about the main agenda. So the admissions for the batch of 2026 to 2028. So if I talk about the initial shortlist for the online assessment, the CAT score is being given a weightage of 97%. And for gender diversity, for 3 marks are extra for female and transgender aspirants. And if you get a shortlist for the online assessment, then a weightage of 70% will be given to the CAT score, and your online personal interview will be given a weightage of 30% to calculate your final composite score, which will be considered for admission into TISS HRM and LR. You can scan the QR code right now on your screens to open up the form, and you can start your TISS HRM and LR journey right now. So these are some of the dates that I would say that you should keep in mind. The forms are closing tomorrow, which is 11th January 2026, 5 p.m. They had closed before we were getting several requests from aspirants. So we had to reopen it. We reopened them on 3rd of January. So keep the deadline in mind. 11th January, 5 p.m. is the deadline. And then the opening of the correction window will happen for a span of 2 days, which is 12th and 13th January. Also on the screen, you can see the minimum CAT percentiles that you need to meet to be considered for admission into TISS HRM and LR. And the criteria I had already talked about in the previous slide. And to end the presentation with, you can always reach out to us on any of our social media handles that are mentioned on the screen. We'll be more than happy to take all your doubts, even if you believe that the doubts are making no sense or anything. Don't shy out. Reach out to us. We are here to help out to you at each and every stage. And lastly, I wish all the aspirants very best on behalf of the batch of 24, 26, and 25, 27 for the upcoming GDPI processes in which you all will be appearing for different colleges and hopefully for TISS HRM and LR also. Sure. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Nikunj. That was pretty insightful, and I'm sure the audience members did get a deep insight into TISS Mumbai. Let us take a few questions from the audience.
Sure.
So the audience member, kindly keep sharing your questions with us. We will take some of your questions and answer them live during this session. Before I take up their questions, Nikunj, one small clarification so that the audience doesn't misunderstand what we have mentioned. The percentiles that you have mentioned for CAT 25, those are minimum eligibility criteria kept in place by TISS, right?
Yes, sir. They are the
Those
minimum.
are not the cutoffs,
They
because
are
the
not.
actual cutoffs may be much higher than that.
Yes, sir, we can say that, but the aspirant has to meet the minimum cutoff
That's that
percentiles.
is true. That is true. That's the minimum required. If they get less than that, then they don't stand any chance. But
Yes.
meeting that doesn't guarantee an interview call.
No, sir, that doesn't guarantee.
Yes. So that is something I wanted the audience members to understand, because if there is some kind of misunderstanding, people with that percentile will assume that they'll definitely get a call.
Sure.
Now, let's take some questions that we have come our way. Uh, Amirup says, will a 2 year gap after 12th affect the chances of selection? Nikunj, would you like to take it up?
Sure. So there's a misconception, I believe, that of gap years that many aspirants have there in mind because they feel a bit insecure about the gap. I would say that gap doesn't leave a negative impact on the interviews. If I talk about my profile, I have got a gap of 1 year, but you need to justify the gap. What have you done during the gap year? You must have done something productive, maybe pursued some internships, maybe preparing for some competitive exams or anything. So you have to build your own story, and that should be convincing enough to show that you have done something during the gap and you are not sitting idle or anything. So a gap doesn't necessarily leave a negative impression in the eyes of the interviewer or the panel. Because if I talk about my batch, we have got many students who have got a gap. But if I talk about their gap years, they have done something or anything of productive that they were able to justify in their interviews and in the further processes too.
Right. Nikunj, one question that often comes in minds of aspirants is, because the course is branded as MA in HRM and LR, does the corporate world treat it on par with, say, MBA HR program? So would you like to take it up?
Sure, sir. So during the presentation too, I had brought it up like while I was talking about the opportunities. So yes, we are MA in HRM and LR, but we are equitable to an MBA in HR only. The opportunities, the placements, and everything, they are the same for both MBA in HR and MA in HRM and LR. The roles that we step into after getting placed, they are the same as an MBA. The opportunity, I would say, we are getting more number of opportunities. I would say, like I mentioned, there are some case competitions that are exclusive for a few campuses only. So we are a part of them, and I believe the legacy that has been built over 6 decades by the name of MA in HRM and LR, it has been continued, and that is what separates us from all the other programs in the country. And to end with, I would just say that we are at an equivalent level with the MBAs that are in the market.
Right. And one more question that people often ask, Nikunj, is what kind of person should go for this program? Who is the ideal candidate to apply for MA in HRM and LR?
Sure, sir. So I believe that is the most difficult question that we face during our interview, that during our interviews and also the summer internship processes. Like, why HR? Why did you step into HR? So you need to build your own story. There must be a reason why someone is trying to pursue this course, and just to build a basic understanding, like for the interviews, I would say one need to prepare on the basic HR functions like the learning and development function, the talent acquisition and everything, and as it is LR also, so also upon the labor relations aspect, and also, sir, focusing upon the question, how should one know that this is the course? I believe there are certain fascinating factors about the course, like I talked about the field work, the ROI factor always comes in place, and I believe that I had my own that I had. If I talk about my own personal experience, as I am a student here currently, I had my own story to switch towards HR because I had pursued a few internships in the field of social work, and also in the field of marketing, where I had worked with people, interacted with them, understood their behavior. So I believe that they gave me a kick to move forward in this direction, and HR was the function which correlated the most with it. So these are the kind of reasons that brings one to I believe HRM and LR, and I still believe that it doesn't matter if someone is not clear in their mind currently, because when we step here, it's now been approximately 8 months. We have gained a clarity of why we have come here and what we are doing. So if there's this, and I believe one should not feel demotivated or anything if they are if this kind of question is popping up in their mind.
Right. One more question that somebody has asked is their academic profile is uh, average or below average, you can say 665 in 10th, 12th, and graduation. So they have a concern that is it possible for that person to get selected in TISS?
Sure, sir. So while I talked about the selection criteria, there's no weightage being given to the past academics, as you saw. Only in the final selection, 70% to the CAT score and 30% to the online personal interview. So I believe the past academics are not playing any role in the admission process. If you have got a great CAT percentile and you do good in and you do really well in the interview, you have got a shot at getting admission here.
All right. One question that often people have in their minds is when we say online interview, would it be only interview or is there some other activity that is also undertaken?
No, sir, it's an online personal interview, and before the interview, you have to fill out a detailed application form where there will be certain questions. And I
Mhm.
believe the detailed application form is a really crucial part of the interview because it builds a base on the interview. Like it provides your impression in the eyes of the interviewer before you even log into your interview. And mostly questions are based on the on the DAF only. So one has to fill that out very mindfully and carefully, and there's no other aspect. It's only an online personal interview. There's no group discussion or extempo.
Right. One more question, like how does a typical day of a student of MA and HRM and LR look like? Like how do you spend your day?
Sure, sir. So if I talk about a typical Monday in my life, like we have got classes starting at 9 a.m. or 9:20 a.m. where we have, and there are typically 3 to 4 classes which we have to attend daily. And also, if I talk about the first semester, there were placement processes going by hand. So in the evening, we had to attend PPTs, or sometimes we had to sit through the whole day for different processes. So I would say it's kind of a roller coaster ride in the first semester where you are just where you just keep running, and you would just won't know where the 4 or 5 months will go away. And when you just realize, then you have to step into the corporate world for your first field work, where you will be working on projects and everything, and then here you will be back for the second semester.
Right, right. I'm sure because of so much of team activities being kept in place, you people also end up making a lot of good friends, right?
Yes, as we are a smaller batch size of just 66 students, so we know we all know each other. We are friends with each other, and like you mentioned about the group activities and everything. So there are several committees. There are several committees. Like I am a part of the Aspirants Relations and the Branding Committee. So there are certain activities that keep going on, which makes us bond more with the people around us, and I believe the lower batch size plays a crucial strength for our course in each and every aspect, be like on holding conversations with people, knowing each other, and maybe individual attention during classes, or maybe in the placement processes. In all these things, I believe the lower batch size plays a really crucial part.
So one question has come from one of the audience members. Question is, can you give me some insight about minimum percentile in CAT who usually get called for interview?
So if I talk about the minimum percentiles or the maximum percentiles, there's no such data available for TISS as the and if I and it's the only the second year where we are accepting card scores. So to build any perceptions or anything, and also there has been a change in the selection criteria this year too, where we are giving more weightage to the where we are giving more weightage to the personal interview to all the aspirants to all the aspirants who are thinking about this question about the minimum percentiles, I would just say if you're confident enough and you believe that you have got a good percentile, you should not stop yourself from applying, because I was in your place last year, and I would have really regretted it if I hadn't applied to this course, because the kind of growth I have seen in my trajectory and career over the past 8 months has been, in one word if I had to say, is just incredible.
Right. Another question is, will there be different interviews for different programs of TISS? Primarily, the question is with regard to MA in HRM and LR and MA in healthcare. Would they have separate interviews?
Yes, as far as I know, there will be separate interviews, because for the MA HRM and LR course, there are separate interviews and the whole process is completely different.
Right. Could you also throw some light on your campus? Because I have got very good feedback about the facilities in place and also the scenic beauty of the campus. I've heard this is one of the most beautiful campuses that we have. Could you throw some light on that?
Sure, sir. So, to mention about the campuses, so we have got two campuses, the old campus and the new campus. So, the MA in HRM and LR course is held in the new campus. And if I talk about the scenic beauty, it's just, in one word, it's mesmerizing and beautiful, I would say. The greenery all around the campus, and also talking about the facilities, like we have got a separate dedicated building for the School of Management and Labor Studies, where the classes are held every day. And also the facilities, I believe, are at par with the top B school only, and we are developing year by year on the facilities part too. And and talking about the other facilities, there's a library that was established with the campus only, so it has got a legacy of itself. It has got 4 floors. It's a very big library with a very great collection of books, which is, and there's a cyber library too. And also there are hangout spots on the campus, be it the gymkhana or anything, where students get to hang out daily and freshen up their minds. Also, I believe if someone takes a walk around the campus, that's enough to freshen up your mind because of the beauty that the campus displays.
All right. All right. That was good insight into the campus, Nikunj. So one important thing that Nikunj has mentioned is interview plays a major role in the selection process in tests. So do make sure you prepare well for your interview. If you get shortlisted, because that would have 70% weightage in the selection process, that makes a humongous difference. Uh, Anything else that you wanted to add, Nikunj?
So I believe there's a question in the chat box.
Sure, go ahead. So the question is, sir, I've worked in industrial management and now working in business development strategies. Uh, Let me just open it. Yeah.
So
While I work in HR strategy, my trajectory so far has not reflected it. Would that be a deal breaker for tests? That's the question. Please go ahead.
sure, sir. I'll just read it once. So, as you have mentioned that you have worked in the industrial management aspect as well, so basically connecting it with the labor relations aspect, industrial relations is given high weightage in our course. Like, if I talk about fieldwork, some of our students go into factories. Like for my first for my first fieldwork, I myself went to a factory. So if I talk about the trajectory of your careers, you can correlate it with HR. And talking about the deal breaker for this, it's not necessary to uphold any prior experience in HR or anything, because I believe in my if I step into my classroom, there are students that are coming from different backgrounds. The cohort is not expected to be like 100% having a work experience of HR. So this should not be a major concern if you are thinking about the MA in HRM and LR course.
All right. One last question that I can see on YouTube. Question is the 2 year gap that the student was referring to. She says it was due to health issues. So would that be considered as a reason enough for the gap?
So, as per my understanding, if this is a question, I believe that will be considered majorly by the institute, and if there has been past cases and such has been considered, I believe in the future they will consider too.
All right. Just to add to that, as far as the business schools in general is concerned, health reasons, genuine health problems, that would be reason enough to have a gap, and nobody will hold it against you, because if you were not well, you had some, God forbid, some accident, some surgery, and due to that particular aspect, you had a break in career. That is absolutely valid. Only suggestion from my side would be, do carry all the proofs of your medical procedures and everything when you go for interviews, so that the panel can have a look at it and they will be convinced that you had a genuine reason as such. So if at all that was the reason, then you don't have to worry at all. It is absolutely valid. So I guess, Nikunj, we have taken all the questions from the students, and you have given us a wonderful insight into tests. And I'm sure everybody who is a genuine HR aspirant would surely consider TISS Mumbai as one of the destinations. So on behalf of everybody at Time, Nikunj, we would like to thank you, and we do wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I would like to thank Time for giving me and my course TISS HRM and LR to represent ourselves on your platform. We are really grateful for that. And to the aspirants, lastly, I would say, if you are upholding any second thoughts about applying to TISS HRM and LR, don't think about it. Just come and apply, because it's really a life changer. And I would just say all the best to everyone for the upcoming processes. And we are waiting on the other side for you. Thank you, sir.